I was able to keep myself alive. My wife was not injured. She was protected until the police got there. And this fellow, after he got out of the hospital, was arrested, was put in prison, and served about 17 years of prison time. He's since been released. He hasn't come back and bothered us. We kind of consider, in regards to him, that chapter of our life closed, which is a good thing. We consider that a good thing. But my wife we went ahead and were married after my injury. We were dating at the time. We got married after my injury. I spent several months in the hospital. I was shot in the leg, and I was shot in the neck, almost point-blank range, with a .44 caliber handgun. I mean, it's just a miracle that I'm alive. Any of you know anything about ballistics or firearms? I spent several weeks completely immobilized. Couldn't use my hands and arms. I was actually a quadriplegic for a while. And it was a real gift to get the use of my hands and my arms back, even though I still have some numbness. When I was discharged from the hospital, I had lost weight to where I was down just right at 100 pounds. I'd lost a lot of weight and was skinny, and my hands and arms in this picture didn't still hardly work. I couldn't really propel myself very well, even in a wheelchair. This is my father. This is a photograph from my honeymoon down in SeaWorld in Florida. It took me about a year and a half of physical therapy to learn to put my life back together and live with my disability, how to get around in a wheelchair, how to get dressed, how to brush my teeth, how to go to the bathroom. And of course, I come back to a farm, I need to learn how to live and work on a farm. And I've been able to do that over the years. Haven't done that alone. I've had a lot of help and a lot of assistance. I use really cool assistive technology like this chair that I'm in. I sat for 20 years in a wheelchair until I come across this machine that enables me to stand up. You know, first time I did this in church, the song leader about fell over. I said, it's not a miracle, it's mechanical, okay? But I was able to learn a lot of things through my life experience. And the remaining time that I have, I don't want to take up a lot of time because we have some really good speakers and some conferences and sessions for you to attend later on. I want to leave you with some tips, some life experiences, and some observations that I've made, and hopefully you won't go home empty-handed. So I call this Life Tips from the Book of Ed. The first thing you need to know is the difference between pigs and sheep. How many of you raise pigs? How many of you raise sheep? All right. I've raised both. People can be like pigs, or people can be like sheep. Pigs and sheep are different. A sheep is a herd animal. It's not too bright. And when it gets in adversity, it has a real quick tendency to give up. One of my favorite sheep stories is a little boy in school said, teacher said, Johnny, if you had, I got a math problem for you. Stand up, young man. If you had 14 sheep and 2 of them got out of the pen, how many would you have? Little Johnny, he rubs his toe on the wooden floor schoolhouse and he goes, well, ma'am, I reckon none. And she goes, young man, you don't know your mathematics. And he goes, well, in all due respect, ma'am, I may not know mathematics, but you don't know your sheep. If one gets out, they're all going to get out. Now with pigs, it's just the opposite. I am ashamed to confess to a God-fearing audience like this that I learned to swear loading pigs in a horse trailer. My mother is not here, so please do not ever tell her that. But I'm sure the neighbors have heard. Pigs are an individual. They can be selfish. They have an individual drive. If they have adversity, they don't give up quickly. They are fighters. If you're going to face adversity in your life, it's good if you are a little pig-headed. That's something that I have learned. If you grew up on a farm or a ranch, you already know this. Life is not fair. My daughter got tired of hearing that when she was little. I used to say, life's not fair, build a bridge and get over it. And she today just rolls her eyes when I say that type of thing because she's a teenager. You know, not every little chick and baby kitty gets to grow up. You learn that as a farm kid early on, that bad things happen. And you get over it, or prices go up, prices go down, floods happen, droughts happen, adversity's just going to happen on the farm. Parts break, you have to have them repaired. We learn this in agriculture. I have seen people who don't get this, and they waste their lives expecting life to be fair. So if you understand that life is not fair, you're going to be way ahead of the game. Stop complaining. If you're a complainer, I'll give you some advice. Just stop it. You know, it's okay to vent once in a while. We all need room to do that, where we vent and kind of blow off. But you shouldn't be that way by nature. Why? Because it's annoying. It's just going to depress you and annoy everybody around you, and it's a complete waste of your time. So if you're a complainer, just stop. People come up and they come up to me and I don't know, they'll start complaining around me a lot. I guess they figure I'm going to understand since I'm in a wheelchair. And I like to look at people and I say, well, you know what? Complaining doesn't change it. So practice people over program. Now, I was born my mother's only child, and I struggle with this one. I still have it deep down in my head that I am the center of the universe and all of you still rotate around me. And I struggle with that. I really do. We have to put forth the effort to sometimes where there's things that are hard in life. This one's kind of hard for me. If you get a phone call and you're sitting there talking to somebody, let it go into voicemail. If you get company comes over when you're watching that last episode of your favorite TV show, shut it off. That's why God made reruns. People are more important. If it's getting ready to rain and you're trying to finish mowing the yard and your grandchild comes up with an interesting bug or rock, turn the mower off. You can finish mowing later. Practice people over program. Stuff is not near as important as people. Trust me, I have an edge on some of you. When I was laying in that apartment that I got shot in and I thought I was bleeding to death and dying, I didn't care what kind of truck I was driving. I didn't care how much my strawberries yielded, how much money I made. I cared about people. I cared about my wife and my mother and my father and the people that I knew that if I died, I would be leaving behind. Practice people over program. Understand you will never make everybody happy. No, you can try, but you're going to waste your time and your effort if you do. The best you can do is try to make most people happy. Or some people happy on a bad day. There's always going to be someone who's not happy. Now, if we had evaluation forms in this room, there'd be one or two people that would think I was terrible, horrible, which maybe I am. But it could be that you're just having a bad day. You don't know the demons individuals are wrestling with, so you don't need to take it personal. They might be just taking it out on you. I've had bad days. You're around me on a bad day, you may think, wow, that guy's a real jerk. Well, my behavior is, but I have a tendency to vent on people. We all do that sometimes. But you understand, when you're in your organizations, whether it's Farm Bureau or your church or even your family, you're not always going to make everybody happy, but you still got to go forward and make decisions. All things in their natural state will run down. Maybe it's batteries in a wireless microphone. Maybe, water going downhill. I don't know. Everything in its natural state is going to get worse. It doesn't just get better on its own. Things happen. Things go wrong. We had a house fire in '95 and we built a new house. Well, last year I had to put some shingles on the house and I had to repair some siding, and we're constantly cleaning on the inside of the house and painting. If we didn't maintain this house, it would fall apart. It wouldn't be worth living in. It's because all things in their natural state run down.